Okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Corey Hutcherson with the Wake Forest Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are here today for our third webinar series, and this one is our leadership one, and we have our guest, Andy George. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. Great having everybody on here.
And we've got about 11 people participating today, which is great to have all of you here. We are excited to kind of do another, leadership series. Andy was on our first series a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was very, very moving, and also we had a lot of great discussion. So one of the big things about today is this is a laid back presentation. This is here for you, the students, to learn from. And again, we will move through this pretty quickly. For those who just kind of came on board, this just kind of has the rules of the webinar. For the most part, we'll keep you guys muted, but if you have a question, you either can unmute yourself and ask it, or you can ask it via the chat feature, or either raising your hand through the webinar feature. For those who are new to this platform, I'm going to show you real quickly what the platform, how it works for those that are new. So you see at the bottom of the screen, you have a little microphone that will unmute you. We also have this will show you all the participants. This is the chat feature. So this is, if you click that, it'll actually allow you to start chatting. You can't see it on mine, but on yours, you should have a little hand feature. If you press it, it'll then raise your hand for the presentation. What I always like to do is to kind of go through and just have everyone introduce themselves. So I will ask for Aaron. Aaron, that's on. Aaron, you want to unmute yourself and introduce where you go to school?
Hi, I'm Aaron. I go to Roseville High School.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, Elizabeth.
I'm Elizabeth Reese, and I'm homeschooled.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, Justin. I don't know if your mic's still broken, Justin.
I'm Justin. I go to Middle Creek.
Okay, Justin. Okay.
Justin, good having you.
Kaylin.
Hi, my name's Kaylin, and I go to Wakefield High School.
Okay, very good. Okay, Kiera.
Hi, I'm Kira, and I go to Wake Early College of Health and Science.
Okay, very good. Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Kennedy, and I go to Heritage High School.
Okay, very good. McKenna.
Hi, I'm McKenna, and I go to Wakefield High School.
Okay. Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven, and I go to North Wake College and Career.
Okay, very good. And Tyler. Tyler?
I'm Tyler. I go to Heritage High School.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pass it back to Andy. Andy, you want to kind of introduce yourself for those who do not know you?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, welcome to everybody. So incredibly glad that you're here. Glad you're absolutely taking time out of your day, whether you just got up or you've been up in school already. I hope you guys are doing well during this time where we're staying at home. And, I said this before the first time that we had this. I think this is so incredibly awesome that you are choosing to spend your time doing this, spending your time doing this. I know you could be doing other things and getting ready for other things, but what this is about here is really about leadership and leadership development. And what I personally believe is every one of you who are on here, this is what you are able to do. You're able to become the leader in your own way, in your own right. So just real quickly, a little bit about me. So I've been doing leadership development for some time now. I'm actually part of the John Maxwell organization, if any of you know who that is, but he's a world-renowned leadership expert. I do things with behavior consulting as well. I speak literally all over the world. I've spoken. My daughter makes fun of me on this, but I do have a book, so I'm an author as well. So I always classify that I'm an international speaker and author. But she laughs at me every time I say that, even though it's technically true. But I love leadership and I love working with students. I worked with students for about 15 years prior to doing what I do now. And, students are incredible, and you guys are incredible for being on here. And I want to value your time and honor your time really well. And I'm excited about today's conversation. And Corey, I don't know if you want me to go right into it or if you want to say anything else, or.
Yeah, go right in, Andy. Okay. Pass it on to you. Yep.
All right. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about authentic leadership and what does it really mean to be an authentic leader. I think especially as students, for the most part, you guys have a an ability to cut through people who are fake and people who are real, right? You see that all the time with friends, with people in general, and on the media. And there's something about how to lead in an authentic way that makes leaders just stand out above everybody else. So the format of today, we're going to watch a short video. It's not real long. It's only a few minutes long, and it's actually a video that Delta Airline used for their leadership development. And it's about being an authentic leader. And I think you're going to find it real concise, but I challenge you to take some notes. And then after the video, I have a PowerPoint that's going to just walk us through questions, and we're eventually going to get to what are the traits and characteristics of an authentic leader. So that'll be at the end. I'm going to give you 4 kind of takeaways at the end of it. But the greatest way that this works is with interaction. And I said this the first time that we did this, that you all blew me away. The way that the students that were on last time interacted was wonderful. And so you can interact a few ways, as Corey already said. At any point, you can pop your hand up. We'll see the hand over on this chat room side. We'll be able to call on you specifically if you have a question or a comment. You can flood the chat room with questions and comments. So like I said, I'm going to lead us through some discussion, and we want everybody to interact. We're not going to, obviously embarrass anybody or force anybody to interact, but I would love to see everybody at least commenting a few things here or there. So we're going to watch a video, and then we're going to move from there to some discussion time and then wrap it up. But we should only be, not even 30 minutes or so about that. All right. So at that time, I'm going to go ahead and start with the video first. So we're going to share the video first, and then we'll kind of come back with PowerPoint. If for some reason you can't hear the video, or if there's issues, just chat in there. Make sure we know, and that way we know it's on my end or your end or somewhere in between. Technology is wonderful when it works, and when it doesn't, it can get real interesting. So again, this is a short video, so tune in, take some notes down as you watch it, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sometimes in life we search for opportunities. Opportunities of life change. Moments of leadership aren't always met with a fanfare, a spectacle, or pageantry. They're selfless, they're noble, they're inherent, instinctive. Authority doesn't always equate to leadership. A leader knows that teamwork is always better than going at it alone. And being reliable can carry more weight than any position or power. A leader goes the extra mile when you're tired and when it doesn't make sense to. But integrity is about doing the right thing when no one is looking. It's not about having all the answers, but taking what's in your cup and pouring it into someone else's that is less full. People follow those when we're selfless and open-handed. A leader sees the potential in someone and blows wind into their sails. You go throughout your day hoping to unlock the potential in someone, hoping that something clicks. And sometimes the day ends wondering if any significant difference has been made, if any ground has been covered, if there is any tangible evidence of your investment, if it was just lost on those you've led, yielding no return. There will be times when you feel like giving up on those whom you've led, when you think that all that effort, all the guidance and direction is all for naught. Please, don't give up on us. Even though we may not be asking for it, we are desperate for you to lead us. Because we are watching. We are paying attention. We're begging for you to keep going. You help us realize that leadership is something worth fighting for, worth running after. What we get is rich, and it's greater than any monetary reward. It's been said leadership doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. And your influence on us will have ripples felt for days to come.
All right, so there's the video content. And what I want to do now is I want to kind of open us up to really begin to talk through some of the questions and some of the comments that maybe you picked up from that. I thought that video was pretty well put together, especially in dealing with what we're dealing with right now. And so let me pop over here. So right now, everybody should be seeing authentic leadership up on your screen. And once again, if you don't have your chat feature open, you're probably going to want to open that as well. And so that way you can kind of comment as we go through this. And I'm looking at the chat over here, so is Corey, and we're going to kind of walk through that. So what I liked about that video was that it hit on several different topics and several different statements that really stuck out to me. And so the first thing I want to ask is this, and once again, you can either do it by speaking, just unmute yourself, or raise your hand and kind of go from there. But how would you define authentic leadership? So let's just make sure we have a good definition to work with here as we're walking through this. But how would you define authentic leadership? So somebody speak up about that. What do you think? Either chat it in or text it in or comment it in. All right, there we go. Being selfless, that's good. Being a selfless leader. What else? And you guys can feel free to text it in or chat it in. Chat thing there. So being selfless is a good one. What else? What else makes somebody authentic? Let me ask it a different way too. So accepting that failures will come. Okay. So what does that mean? So explain that a little bit more, Kiara. What do you mean by accepting that failures will come? How does that tie into being authentic? You can unmute yourself, Kiara, if you want to answer it. Yeah, not looking to reward or recognize anybody, helping others as well. What else? These are all good answers, very good answers.
Kiara, do you want to share more?
Sorry, I'm a little glitchy right now, so everything's coming in a little weird. When it comes to people accepting that failures are going to happen, I have a lot of leaders in my life, and I'm so thankful for that. And they're so amazing in helping me through just life, and I'm so appreciative of them. And I look up to them so much when I want to be a leader towards others. And all of them have told me straight to my face that failures are going to happen in life. And I appreciate the fact that they're authentic, the fact that they are human and they know that they're human, and they respect the fact that there are going to be mistakes, but you just have to learn from them instead of letting it bring you down and stop you from doing what you want or helping others and leading others.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Kiara. That's right on. So what you were saying is that a leader who's just real open about the ups and downs of leadership, the pros and cons of leadership. Other people have said helping others, someone who doesn't want to be a leader for benefits, as in reward, but doing it out of the joy of their heart to help others. That's a great answer as well. So one of the things that the video talked about is about a selfless and noble leadership. What does that look like? And as we think through this, and as we talk through authentic leadership, once again, as I get towards the end of this, I'm going to give you a couple true qualities that we're really going to dive into maybe a little deeper, the true qualities of authentic leadership. So these are just questions to talk through. So we've already kind of addressed the selfless act. It's somebody who doesn't just want to be a leader for the sake of leadership. Leadership is not positional, it's influence. So let me ask this one question. It's not a slide, but what does it look like to be an influential leader and not just a leader because they have a title? So Kennedy, I'm going to ask you, because you kind of put that in there. You said someone who doesn't want to be a leader for benefits, but doing it out of the joy of their heart to help other people. So what does it look like, going off that statement, for somebody who is doing this out of influence? They're just influencing people, right? So they're selflessly influencing people. And so here's another way of looking at it here, and this is a question I do want us to answer. What does it mean to go the extra mile in leadership. So as we think about that, so that was mentioned in the video. What does it mean to go the extra mile in leadership? So this is a good question for everybody. So I want everybody to either chat in an answer, just type it in, or raise your hand, unmute yourself, and talk about it. So Kennedy, I'm going to call on you because I think you're unmuted or you just chatted. So Kennedy, what does it mean to go the extra mile in leadership? Hello? I don't see a microphone, so maybe she doesn't have a mic on. Somebody else answered that question. What does it mean to go the extra mile in leadership? Okay, here we go. Helping others. Someone doesn't want to be a leader for the benefits. Step out of your comfort zone, benefit of leading others. Go out of your way to do something good. A person looking out for everyone's interests. Yeah, those are phenomenal answers. So you get the idea, right? The go the extra mile leadership is all those things. It's stepping out. It's doing things for other people. It's looking out for the interests of other people. One of the comments that he made in the video was that leadership is worth fighting for. And he tied it to this next statement that I think is very important for all of you, especially at your age right now. You all have such a unique advantage right now with so many opportunities and so many resources at your disposal to grow and to lead. He tied it into the next statement, which is leadership doesn't happen in a day, but it happens daily. I think that's so key. If there's one big takeaway on just leadership, and once again, in just a moment, we're going to talk about true characteristics and qualities of leaders, authentic leaders, but leadership doesn't happen in a day, but it happens every single day. So with that one, once again, just some interaction would be helpful. How do you grow every day in leadership? So what are some things you could do, whether you do them or not? What are some ways that people every day can absolutely grow daily? What are some things you guys could do? Give me some feedback on that.
Yeah, either the chat feature, or if you want to unmute yourself, you're welcome to.
Yep, absolutely. So chat away or unmute yourself. It's always good hearing people's voices too.
Yes, and I'll just say, kind of a follow up to what Andy's saying. I think when I've been involved with leadership programs for the last probably 8 or 9 years, and a lot of times I've asked students, why do you want to be a leader, or what is a leader in your definition of leadership? And a lot of times leadership seems to be about taking charge. Is usually what people look at as a successful leader, someone who can take charge of something. And really this video, this concept we're talking about today, is really almost someone that's is not really looking to be someone to take charge. They're looking just to role model how to do things well and do things good. And so I think that's something to think about in leadership. Is not all about, are you able to successfully lead a group, but are you able to actually influence, as Andy said, are you able to actually showcase strong values, core beliefs that people can also emulate? So I think when people aren't looking, they are looking. And so if you're an authentic leader, you're always doing things so that whoever's watching is going to be proud of what you're doing.
Yep, absolutely. So authentic leadership is about integrity, right? It's about doing things when nobody else is looking and being an authentic leader in our integrity. So as we kind of push through this and go to this thing here, so true qualities of authentic leadership. One, I just love that picture, future leader. I love that. So, but I really just want to give you 4 qualities of authentic leadership. And these would be really good ones to write down, really good ones to just think about in your own personal life as well. I think these are great questions that if you can answer, and these ones you might not be able to answer right now, but you might be able to comment on them. But I do think as we're talking through being authentic, being real, right, being genuine, just being who you are, having good integrity, being selfless, these are all things that most of us think about when it comes to authentic leadership. So the first one is this. So here's 4 qualities of authentic leadership. Number 1 is understand your purpose. I think this is so incredibly key for leaders and for any leaders. And so how to understand your purpose. In other words, why are you here? Like what's your purpose in life? And most of you are just figuring that out, or you're starting to figure that out. Some of you might have an idea of what you want to do. In fact, that can be kind of neat to see in the chat thing. So if you know what do you want to do in life? Like what's your calling in life to be and to do? I love to see it. If any of you guys had that figured out, it's always a neat thing to see. You can just put it in the chat feature there. But to know kind of the purpose of why you exist. I know for Kennedy, she's having some Wi-Fi glitchy issues, but her path has taken her towards sports med, right? Sports med, therapy like that. And so everything that she's kind of doing now is revolving around that, being part of the sports med at Heritage and doing different things like that. Kira says that she'd love to be a cardiac thoracic surgeon. There you go, Kira. Get on. There you go.
I know a lot of the students on this webinar are in our Career Readiness Academy. So a lot of you have had the opportunity to do internships at different businesses. Many of you have said that it has solidified your career interests. So if you want to share with the group some of those career interests that they are, I'd love to see.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing to see. So biomedical engineer and teach. This is awesome. Very good. What else? Who else has the purpose, right? And so while you're typing that in there, so I want to see everybody who has that. And if you don't, that's fine too. But what it should do of why understanding your purpose is so incredibly important and being an authentic leader is it starts to give you direction into where you want to go. So, McKenna wants to do sports marketing or physical therapy, veterinarian technician, biomedical engineer, cardiothoracic surgeon. But all those things, because you're starting to dial in on what you want to do, it's making you make the right choices now. And being an authentic leader doesn't mean you have all the answers by any means. But when you understand your purpose of why that you're doing what you do, it just makes everything else around you become so much more real and so much more intentional. So I think another way of saying it is an authentic leader is also an intentional leader, that they're leading out of intention. They're leading in ways of starting to set them up for the future of where they want to go next. The second one is this. The second one, I would challenge you all to, let me go back one. I would challenge you all to really get this one into your being. Sorry, I think he's popping over. There we go. Is live your values. I think that when it comes to an authentic leader knows and lives out their values. Now, this one's huge. I would say that if you want to start to define what authentic leadership looks like, it's somebody who is actually living out the values that they have and they understand. So once again, you might not know this answer yet, but one of the things for you to start thinking through would be, what do I value in life? What do I value other people? Do I value integrity? Do I value hard work? Do I value patience? Those are key things for you and I to start practicing right now. So here's a great question. Once again, we want interaction. What is something that you value in somebody else that you've seen that's a leader? So Kira kind of kicked that off earlier when she was talking about leaders that surrounded her, and the leaders that surrounded her, they were just genuine about their success and failures. So what else? I personally would love to know from students, what do you look at and say is the key thing? So loyalty, there we go. Loyalty is a big one. Honesty is another one. So loyalty and honesty. What else? What are some other key values that you as a student right now, whether it's a coach or a teacher or a parent or somebody that you look up to, what is it that what is one of their values that you really say, that's a really solid value that I love? So that's two. So this is a good one for everybody. Everybody should be able to chime in here. So hit the chat feature, guys. Let me see. Understanding, that's a good one. Integrity, yeah. Faith and strength, that's a great one. Courage, that's good. Courage and leadership is massively important, right? Being able to lead and be able to be a courageous leader is very huge. Positivity, yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah, I would much rather be around positive people than negative people. That is for sure. Kindness.
Andy, I'll show you from my experience and kind of working for different organizations, the types of leaders that I've enjoyed working for have been those who are supportive. You know that they will be supportive when you are struggling. You can go to them for guidance, and they can be there for you. That's something that I look for. Those who are supportive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and have a leader that supports you, speaks life into you. How about a leader that values you as well? Those are very important things. Kindness. Boy, I've had some not so kind leaders around me sometimes. And having a kind leader that values people and it shows. See, these are all things. If you want to be an authentic leader, students, I'm just telling you, live your life with values, and don't compromise your values just to get ahead in life. There's way too many of that way too much of that happening. So, but that requires for you to know who you are, know what you really value the most. Okay, let's keep going. This is really good. You guys are getting the hang of this really well. Number 3, I love this one. Lead with your heart. If you want to be an authentic leader and you want to surround yourself with real leaders, you have to lead with your heart. You have to have empathy as a leader. So this is a little bit deeper question maybe, but how do you do that? This might be one for somebody. I want at least one person to unmute themselves and answer this question. How do you lead with empathy with your heart? What does that look like? So let me share with that. You can of course chat it in as well, but we like to hear from people. So one of you guys unmute yourself and answer that question. Lead with your heart. What does that look like? How does that happen? You guys love the chat feature.
Tyler, I'm gonna pick on Tyler. Tyler, you want to share? Probably not.
Kira had her hand up, so that was good. Go ahead, Kira.
When I think of someone leading with their heart, I think of someone not just leading people just to be a leader. I think of them leading them in things that are close to their heart and that are close to the things that they enjoy doing in life, or things that they love, or things that mean a lot to them. And I also think of a leader who with their heart is someone who loves everyone, because that's what we're called to do. And yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah, I think that last thing you said was very key. Somebody that absolutely has love for everybody, not just a certain group of people or a certain person, but they just have a genuine care about them. So that's a good answer. Anybody else want to chime in on that? All right. And then the last one is this, and this one is kind of the obvious one in the room, is number 4. So once again, these are true qualities of authentic leadership. Number 1 was understand your purpose. Number 2 is live your values. Number 3 is lead with your heart. And number 4 is just be you. Just be real and genuine. We don't want to overcomplicate it, right? It's just being you, who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to mimic somebody else. Just be real and genuine. And personally, I would take somebody who is just real and genuine any day over somebody who's trying to fake it. I don't think that statement, fake it till you make it, is a good one to live by any means. I hear that all the time. Hey, we'll just fake it till you make it, and just, try to blow smoke until, you kind of figure it out. But it's really about just being you, being real, and being genuine is really the key in all of that. So authentic leadership, right? So authentic leadership. So one of the things that I would love to kind of end with, and I'll turn it back over to Corey in a minute, is I'd love to hear this. I think this just really helps. And one, if anybody wants to unmute themselves and share it, or you can also just put it in the chat feature. It just kind of helps me process along with you. But what is one thing, so just one simple thing that you took away from our time today that you can apply? What's one thing? There's one thing about authentic leadership that stands out to you from either the video, from our interaction, from the chat, from our PowerPoint. What's one thing that you're going to go away with going, okay, I'm going to apply that. That was good. That stuck out to me. So go ahead.
And I'll make this a little harder. You either have to type it in the chat or unmute yourself. Everyone has to participate in this question. I'll be the teacher. I'll be the mean teacher.
There you go. So lead with your heart. That's a great one. Good one, Aaron. Live your values. Okay. What else? Okay, Tyler's got his hand up. So go ahead, Tyler.
I would say like from the 4th point, like you gotta know what kind of leader you are, and you gotta find out what like leadership style works for you. Like you can't like copy someone else, or else it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% true. Absolutely. Leadership is an everyday contribution. That's a great statement, Kaylin. Yeah. Understanding others' concerns and being true to yourself. Leading from the heart. Don't be a leader one day, be a leader every day. It's a great one too. authentic leader has love for everybody. It's awesome. Yeah. So these aren't very difficult, right? These aren't overly hard things to do, but you'd be amazed at how many people just can't even grab the simple understanding of just get authentic leadership. An authentic leader leads from the heart. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very true. So it's always a fun thing to talk through about when it comes to leadership and development of leadership and really applying this. But I think I'll just say one more thing, and then I'll turn it back over to Corey. That I think that one of the greatest things for all of us, right? So not just for me and Corey in our phase of leadership, I think we see this happen in similar ways that you see it. Like we work with leaders all the time, and you can tell right away, wow, that's just a true, genuine leader. They just really care about people. They add value to people. They want to help people. And then you see people that are just in it for themselves. And I know you all see that. You see that with coaches. You see that with teachers. You see that with people in the community. And quite frankly, we're seeing that displayed on the world stage right now, aren't we? Right? With all the stuff happening with COVID-19 and coronavirus, there's people on the news all the time, and you can tell right away, even through the media, you can tell that the ones that are up there that are just genuinely caring. I mean, look at all the people that are sacrificing their time, the doctors and nurses and people who are out serving the community and giving people food. And, they're working these long, exhausting hours, and they're not doing it for themselves, right? They're doing it for other people. I think that's such a wonderful display of authentic leadership being done in a way that's in a selfless act. That there's people in our world right now that are completely given of their time and their talents. They're completely given of their energy just to help other people out. So I think that that's a great image that I'll end with you is if you want to think about authentic leadership, it comes back to servant leadership, right? We talked about that the first week. It's how well do you put other people in front of yourself, and how well do you serve your fellow mankind? And we're seeing tons of opportunities right now, and you probably got some opportunities that you can even practice that. It might even be in your own house, or maybe with a neighbor, or down the road. And whenever we're allowed to actually interact in public again at some point, we're going to see that as well. But anyway, so for me, I value this time together. I love that you guys are interacting. I love you took time to be here today. And Corey, I'll turn it back over to you, and you kind of go from there.
Again, I want to thank you, Andy, and I want to thank all the students that are participating. I think one of the things that I will say, as I said the first session, and I'll continue to say, is this opportunity, as much as it might look like a major challenge in your life and the unknown that is out there, the fact that you are seeking knowledge and enlightenment is positive, and you can use all these skills in your future. And you have to believe deep down in your heart that there is going to be a bright future. That is something that you have to have. That is the faith that you have to have. It doesn't matter if you have a belief in God or not. I'm not going down that path right now with you, but you have to have the faith that it will be better. And you need to, we are providing you a lot of resources that can make you a better person. I can tell you from my experience in being a leader or providing leadership, Tyler, you kind of hit it on the head. Trying to determine your leadership style, it doesn't happen overnight. I can go ahead and tell you, I have learned sometimes the hard way that sometimes certain types of leadership styles don't work. So it takes time. So don't imagine that you're going to figure out what your leadership style is, right off the bat. But I think what you're hearing today, all of these skills that are being provided to you can help you in your personal life. They can help you in your work life. Andy talks about being genuine. Most employers, I'm telling you, doesn't matter, however, whatever's going to happen in the future, they're going to want good people to work for them. That's really what they care about. And I know that degrees and certifications and all that kind of stuff matters, but you, the person, and who you are as a person is who they are hiring. So think about that as you're growing as a person. That's really what they care about, is you, the person. And so if you can develop skills that can make you a better person, you're going to be successful in whatever you do. So I think that's why this is a great topic we covered today. I will share that we're going to continue doing these webinars. Next week is a little bit different one. Some of you go back to school next week, and so we're doing something on Friday. We have a website. Our Wake Forest Chamber Foundation website has a little link on that page about these webinars. But next week's going to be something where we're going to do interactive stuff. We're going to be doing like what's called flop balls. We're actually going to learn how to juggle. And so if you want to sign up for that, I do need you to sign up for that pretty quickly so we can send you the flop ball to your house. And my personal contact, if you have any questions about that, most of you know that, but it's Corey, Corey at wakeforestchamber.org. I really, really do appreciate Andy for what you're doing here. And I appreciate you, the students, for continuing to come back. Many of you have been here the last 3 weeks, which I think is awesome. And for those who are new for the first time, we're really glad to have you. We want to continue to have these conversations. And so, again, we wish you the best. Remember, the last time I said this in the first session, but your family right now is extremely important. Be kind to your parents, be kind to your brother and sister, and be kind to your neighbors. That's all I have. Andy, you want to lead us in a prayer?
Sure. Yeah.
For those who
I
not
guess.
participate, you're welcome to get off, but I thought it would be nice to have Andy, especially as this is an important Holy Week.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll give you, as Corey said, we don't want to force this on anybody. So I'll give you about 5 or 6 seconds or so to hop off if you want. And then otherwise, we're going into Easter week. We are in Easter week. And this will be the first one that I can remember, maybe even in any of our generation, to where we don't actually have a normal Easter weekend coming up. So 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Hey, let's pray together. So God, thank you for this group of students that are here. First of all, I thank you for just the ability that we have to gather around computers or phones or tablets, wherever we are in our own homes, and to stay connected and to continue to grow as leaders. So Lord, I pray you give wisdom and direction. I pray that as we even talked about being an authentic leader, what a great example, Jesus, you were going into this weekend, especially to where you go to the cross on Friday for us, and then you rise again, that we celebrate this Easter. And I know that this world right now is still dealing with a pandemic, but we are going to come out of this, and there is hope at the end of this. And the hope is not just in people, but it's also found in you. And so I pray that we take comfort in knowing that, God, you are still in control. And I pray that you would bless us in our daily activities the rest of this day, and that you would bless the rest of this incredible Holy Week leading up to Easter, and that we would have just great family time going into this weekend. So we thank you for our opportunity and time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks again, everybody. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Good seeing you all on here, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.